Hey everybody, welcome to Pocket Change. We're going to do another episode of our pick or pass. So pick or pass. This is where we look at the items we might possibly sell and see things that are good and bad. Hey Joe, how you doing this evening?
I'm great. How are you? Good
Good.
morning, good
All right.
afternoon, and good evening to everyone out there. Because I know we struggle over wondering when you guys actually watch this, but the metrics seem to be all over the place. Wherever you are in the world, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and you should be listening to Pick or Pass with Pocket Change.
There you go.
Alright, so where we want to kick this off at on this Pick or Pass? Go ahead, Benz. What's your first item you got for us on this
So I've
episode?
got PC games.
That's what I picked too. You'd almost think we planned it.
No, but we didn't. We don't talk about this ahead of time, right? So
No, we
both
do
these are
not. We really
PC games.
don't.
There's Stronghold Crusader 2, and I've got Call of Duty Art of War. What do you
And
got
I've
there?
got two classic PC games now, not to be confused with console games, but PC games. That's what we're talking about here. I got Flight Simulator X from Microsoft, and I've got SimCity 4 happens to be the one I've got. Classic PC games. Are they worth it? Are they not? What do you think, Ben's? Pick or pass?
I think if they're sealed, they're probably a pick. If they're
See, I
not,
just
go
go
ahead.
ahead. If they're not, you would say pass, right?
Probably. I got these though for very cheap. I'm willing
I
to take
would
a chance on 50 cents.
I would say that they're always a pick. I would say
Okay.
that PC games, and here's the thing, you always want to source cheap. That's the name of the game. In fact, you're doing a little bit of foreshadowing. I'm going to talk a little bit about sourcing properly in our next one. Ben's and I are going to talk a little bit about that our next regular podcast. But
Yes.
I think PC games, especially like classic PC games, are always a pick, provided, of course, that you're sourcing properly, whether they're sealed or not. Now, one thing, if they're not sealed, because I have noticed this, so we just go ahead and go over it. If they're not sealed, especially Microsoft games, and I'm going to cover it up a little bit so you can't get it, but you want to make sure that you've got the seal on it, and you want to make sure that it's the actual game inside. So, um, because you don't want to buy an empty case. That would not get anybody anywhere. But I say pick on them. So you say, what was you said?
I said
It
sealed
depends.
or a pick,
If it's
and
sealed, pick. If it's not sealed, pass. And I said pick it either way, provided you
so
make sure it's got the right game in it.
so if you just put in PC games and look it up, there's 400,000 available, 85,000
Okay,
percent,
let's look at it. You said there's how many available?
400,000.
So 400,000. There's 5,000 sold.
Yep.
So that's a 21% just right there off, a 21% sell ratio.
Yeah.
So that's not the strongest. Again, Benz and I would say that anything over 50% you definitely want to do. Anything in the 25 to 50 you probably want to do. Anything below 25 it starts getting, and definitely anything below 10 do not do at all. So let's look at some more, look a little deeper.
So if you do sealed, it's 38,000 available, 7,600 sold.
I still point two, so we're not doing any better there. So it's still 20%. So right now we would be saying, as a rule, regular rule, that it would be something you'd want to pass on. But I
Right.
say let's take it just a little bit deeper.
Sim City,
Let's do SimCity. Let's see what SimCity actually comes out to, because
100 available,
okay.
507 sold.
So SimCity is not. That's out on SimCity, ladies and gentlemen, because it comes out to a 14% sell through ratio. And I'm going to tell you partially why. It is so mass produced. And it's just not, I don't know, it's not that popular of a game anymore. SimCity, nope. It would be one it'd be one that if you could pick up for as a item in a lot, you pick it up in a lot, you may actually say, okay, I got it in a lot, I'll list it out there for sale. But don't plan on making any real money off of SimCity. Okay, what's yours?
I did Call of Duty,
Okay.
4,000 available, 1,300 sold.
That's actually got a 32.5, so 33% sell through ratio. If
And
there's
then let me look
13
at the
sold,
actual one. World at War, 169 and 67 sold.
That's a 40% sell-through rate. So now, is that just PC games, or is
That's
that
just PC
including?
games. No, I just put in
Okay,
PC game.
that one would be one that you would want to pick up. SimCity, not so much, but Call of Duty, yes.
They look like they sell between $9 and $13.
So let's go on the low end, $9 divided by 3.5. So you need to get it for definitely for less than $2.57, preferably in the best of condition.
And I got it for 50 cents.
So you did well.
Flight Simulator,
Flight Simulator X.
457 sold, 1,600 listed.
That's a 28.5, so a 29% sell-through rate. So that's one of those that if you could get it for the right price, yes, you would definitely, you would not definitely, but if you get it for the right price, you'd pick it up. It's on the lower spectrum. What is the sell rate on that?
Look, it looks like it's selling. Let me see yours again. There's a couple different boxes. Yes, 34.95, 32, 13. It's all over the place.
32 plus 34 plus 13 divided by 3. So just on a common, you want to stay around the $25 mark.
New
So
and
you need to
sealed,
get.
$80.
So unsealed though, you want to get it for $7 or less.
And don't run an auction.
No, do not run an auction.
All the auction ones were bought with one bid. If you started at 99 cents, you got 99 cents.
That's the way it goes. You take a chance on those auctions like that, and if there's a lot of them out there, you can really screw yourself up. But all right, go ahead. So let's look. You had one more, didn't you? The Crusaders one.
It sells for about $5 to $9.
Okay, so we'll look at that in a minute. Let's see what the amount of
53 sold.
Okay,
142.
37.32, so 37% on that. And you said it sells between $5 to $9. So you need to get it for less than $2.
Yeah. So both of mine are cheaper.
Both of yours are cheaper, but they are on the
Better
higher
sell-through.
sell-through rate. So the SimCity, you want to stay away from SimCity, ladies and gentlemen. That's really, now PC games as a whole, so you got to be careful. You want to make sure that if you're looking at PC games, that one, you're really researching what you're buying, because something like SimCity, 14% sell-through rate, no, you don't want to do that. Microsoft X, yeah, you can consider that, or Flight Simulator, yeah, consider that one. It sells for a little bit more. Remember, you need to get it for $7. Look at it. This is the kind of process you want to go through and get in a rhythm of doing every time you're sourcing items. You want to start doing this and get quicker at doing exactly what we're doing here and looking at them and going, okay. Now, interesting enough, the Call of Duty game that Benz has on the PC side is actually better than I would have thought. I would have thought it wouldn't do as well because it's a heavy console game and it was written for a PC. So
Yeah.
usually you see games that were originally console and made for the PC, the PC doesn't do as well. But hey, that's maybe an exception there. I'm still going to stick with my pick on PC games, even if they're not sealed. It's not as bad as you'd think, but it's not the greatest. So it's maybe not the only item you want to have in your store.
I'll pick them up for 50 cents, no matter what they are. If they're sealed, I'm definitely picking them up. But definitely when I'm out there and I see them, I'll just do some research on the spot. Some are worth money, some are not. But I would say they're a pick light for me. Although I did just pick two up, so.
And don't be afraid, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there at a yard sale and you're like, oh, I really want this one. This is the one I really want. This one's okay. These two over here are kind of junk. Who cares? Put them all together and offer them a bundle price for it. All right. So we both ended up picking PC games, which is pretty cool. Maybe we'll get into talking about game console games at some point in time. They're a flood market, but they're in a whole different thing. And you get into those, you got genres to deal with. So maybe we'll talk about some of those and some genres. And, of course, just a reminder here, if you've got something you want us to check out, throw it our way. So, Benz,
You want me to go again?
I can go.
You go. Although we're only going to have 3.
because we agreed. So
Yeah.
we ended up picking the same one. We usually pick two. But again, we talked last time about old vintage Bibles, and that kind of got me thinking, what about branded organizational Bibles? Because, years and years ago, a lot of organizations, if you went to work for some organization, they may, especially nonprofit, I've seen a lot of these Red Cross Bibles. The Red Cross gave out Bibles to their employees and to other people. The Salvation Army did it. So there was a lot of organizations that did that. In fact, I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is a Bible that I am hunting for. It is worth a lot of money. I have seen it through pictures, but I have not seen one in real life. It is actually a Red Cross Bible from World War. I didn't know the Red Cross went back that far. I don't know that the Red Cross as an organization we see today actually went back that far. I'd like to research it a little bit more. But I saw a picture of a Bible, and it was handed out, and basically it is a bedside Bible, is what they call it. It's a bedside Bible. In other words, if the soldier was passing away, then they would give him that Bible as a memento to hold, to bring him comfort while he was passing away. So those Bibles are extremely valuable. So if you see one, you really want to do that. But we're not going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about just these types of Bibles that have organizational brands on them. Used to be, in fact, I heard J.C. Penney used to give out a Bible. That's awesome. But these types of things, are they worth money? Are they not? Now, I know the Red Cross one is, but are organizational Bibles worth money? So if you're around Bibles much, and any other religious books, depending upon what part of the world you're in, you're going to see this. And this is a very love it, hate it, whatever. A lot of people recognize this symbol right here. This is the Freemason symbol. This is the standard Freemason Master Mason Edition Holy Bible that's given out in just about every lodge, as they call it, throughout the United States. And are these worth anything? If you see Masonic Bibles out there, and there's multiple Masonic Bibles, there's big ones, there's small ones. These are generally the ones that are just handed out just about to everybody, so this is a pretty common one. So is it worth anything? And I'm going to say yes. So I'm going to say pick it up if you see it. Some people will buy it just for the novelty item of having it because of all the controversy that surrounds the Freemasons. Ben's actually has had some Freemason stuff he's sold in his store a couple times, but so they sell well.
So if you look up Masonic Bibles, just as a general rule, there's 59,000 of them all listed and 3,500 sold.
Ooh, that don't sound good, does it? Well, that's as bad as your indigenous artwork.
But you added in there Master Mason Edition.
Handed out to Master Masons, but
Masonic Bible, your average selling price $95 to $14.95. But if you list it as a Holy Bible, Master Edition, Masonic, with those keywords, there are 161 listed, and they look like they're listed for low end $20, high end $70.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So then, if we look at that sold items, and it's 103,
it becomes a 63.9% sell through rate.
And they look like they sell for $20.
Okay.
That, although, again, now there is a version of that has, it's the 1971 Masonic Bible. It's blue, but it has a picture on the front of an angel and then some men surrounding her. That one seems to bring like more money, so like $25 to $35. You can get it all in the box, the original box and everything. That one sold for $50.
So the older it is, the better price you're going to get on it. But the standard blue one from the 90s, you're saying is around.
They're $14.95 to $20.
We'll go on the low end, 14.
Okay.
So you need to get it for $5, $4 to $5.
Yeah.
And preferably in the box. The one I got don't have the box.
Yeah, the box seems to up the price. All right, that was a good one.
Sweet. Okay. So what's yours? What you got going on there, Benz? What's your
I got
next
a couple things here. I'm trying to decide which way to go.
Okay.
I'm going to do the Sony Walkman.
Sony
radio.
Walkman. Now,
And
is that an
that player.
original Walkman or is that a...
This is I don't know what year it's from. I got a serial number though. I can look it up real quick.
Hold it up and we'll see.
It's an older one.
Well, all Walkmans are, but that's one of the newer Walkmans.
Yeah.
Later editions. The first ones were very square and silver. Looks like a tape case. And they usually didn't have a radio in them.
So let's do Sony Walkman.
The one you've got there is probably from my age group.
Yeah, so if you get the one that is the original, which I don't have, it just is a cassette player. It's not anything else.
Had real cheap foam headphones with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you get one of them, like a red one.
Yeah, the red one would be
$500.
Yeah, the silver one was the most common one.
Yeah.
The red one was more expensive because it's more expensive to dye plastic red than it is silver. I'm going to guess that one was manufactured. What you got was manufactured around 1992.
I'm just looking for one that looks just like it. Yeah, so this is not a very good one. Looks like this one sells for around $15 to $30.
On the low end, you're going to need to get it for around $4. You paid how much for it?
I paid $1.
Hey, you did wonderful. 8,100 sold. That's pretty good. Okay, depending on how many is listed.
16,000.
A little bit better than 50%.
Yeah.
51.
Now, yeah, if you can get the original one, you're in a couple $100. That one that was $500, that was a sold co. Really need to look them up individually. This one here, there's a lot of them like it that are listed for $20 to $35 to $50.
And there is a key there too, ladies and gentlemen, on this one here, because this is a Sony Walkman. When I was coming along, Rose's had one, because Walkman hit out. Rose's had one. They had their own brand. Radio Shack had their own brand, Realistic. Walmart had one. You don't want even the other brand names. I don't know how well they do. We can look them up. I know RCA had one. I even know that Memorex for a little while, for about 3 or 4 years. Now that one actually may be worth something.
Yeah.
Because the Memorex one was only made for three years, if I remember correctly. My older brother had the Memorex one. Now I had a knockoff Rose's one. We couldn't afford the Sony Walkman at that time. Those things were quite the expense.
Yeah. If you put in just Walkman, you end up with 22,000 results.
Wow.
And then 11,000 sold.
So still the same.
Still 50%.
Still 50%. So that's a definite buy, ladies and gentlemen, provided it works. Now, if it doesn't work, don't be disparaged, because even if it doesn't work, it's interesting that you can still sell them. Now, if it doesn't work, you need to negotiate way down. I'll give you 10 cents for it. I mean, and if you're buying from an auction site and it doesn't say it works, then don't buy it. It's just the thing, because if you end up paying way more for it than you should, because they sell these things for parts.
Yeah, a lot of the ones that are sold are for parts. So.
Yeah, Sony Walkman not working. So if that one works, Ben's might have something there that's actually
I would say
be worth something.
$30, paid $1, try to sell it, take an offer.
So let's shoot for the 2250 range. I think we already talked about what to buy it for, but 3.5. So you need to be around $6.50 buying it if it works, unless it is the original. Then feel free to bid up a little bit more. If you get an original one for $6.50, hey, you go for it.
Sell it for, it'll be 1% of what you sell it for. So.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. I thought this was
cool.
a better one than when I bought it, but it'll work.
I'm curious to know when the one you bought actually was manufactured, because it really does look like the ones that when I was around beginning my teenage years. That's the ones that were out
there are
then.
numbers and shit on it, but
it's like there's numbers on it, but I can't read it. I have to get the magnifying glass. I think they all were.
WMFX28. Hold on, let's double check.
Pretty sure they were all made in Malaysia, in a sweatshop, just across from the Nike store.
Yeah, that's
just made
WMFX28.
Made some people mad.
There's 37 of them sold, and they seem to sell around $25. And available 57. So it's a really good. It's got a good sell-through rate.
Yeah, that's actually going up there on.
And a lot of them say the cassette player doesn't work, and they're like $15, $9 for
So even
parts.
if it doesn't work, that's a good one to sell for
Yeah,
for
minimum
parts.
$10.
So, and you got a cassette tape laying there somewhere. You can go ahead and see if it'll chew it up. Maybe you
Yeah,
can show them. Maybe you can show all the youngins how to use a pencil.
yeah. I have a cassette tape here somewhere, but
If you're listening to this and you don't know what a Sony Walkman and a pencil have in common,
yeah,
then you're blessed
you're
because
too
you're
young.
way younger than Ben's and I. So my hat's off to you if you don't know what a pencil and a Sony Walkman, why you would carry a pencil around with your Sony Walkman. But that's a whole different ballgame.
It's crazy though that this thing. There's like 60 of them listed, so I'm just going through them. Some people are trying to sell it for $300, reconditioned.
You're never going to sell that one for
No,
$300.
no,
An original, yes. That one there, no. You're not going to
no.
sell it.
That's the crazy thing. And the one above it's $17. Works great.
All right, so if you see a Sony Walkman, that's a. Now, you know what we didn't ask on this one? We didn't guess before if it'd be a pick or a pass. We need to get back to guessing on these. Would you pick it or would you pass?
We did it on the first one.
What's interesting, ladies and
All right,
gentlemen,
let's start over.
No, we're
For
not
the
going to
second
start
time.
over. We're not going to start over. We're going to keep this one the way it is. But what's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, is you will have a tendency, and part of the reason we're doing this show is it's education for he and I too, because you'll have a tendency to go, I don't really know a whole lot about that, or I'm just, I'm uncomfortable with it, and you'll pass on it, and then you kick yourself later because you're like, oh man, I should have picked that.
All right, so since we had one, we only did three. We're going to do four because I have this sitting here.
What in the world
It's a
is?
clown,
Oh my God, clowns!
and then this is like a bowl.
Save those for next time. Let's save
No, we're gonna
those.
do them real quick.
Oh my God!
Clown. You don't like clowns. This one
I
needs to be
hate
cleaned up, and it'll
clowns.
clean right up.
And it's
I
not
don't even
because
know
I'm
what they
afraid of them. I'm not afraid of clowns. I hate
No.
clowns. I was forced to watch that stupid It movie when I was a kid, and I've never liked clowns since.
So on the way
Again,
back, I did the same. Go ahead. You
you,
never liked clowns.
I never liked clowns. I still don't like clowns. I never have liked clowns. Never want anything to do with clowns. I would rather, one of the quickest ways to get your face smashed in around me is to dress up like a clown and get anywhere near me, because I will go crazy on you. And it's not my fault. You can't charge me with assault. I'm sorry. You were warned ahead of time, people.
I bought these on the way home today. I paid $1 a piece for them.
Oh, he's so excited. Okay, go ahead. We're about out of time. Speed it up.
All right, so they're century modern Murano glass clowns. If you look them up,
Yeah, we can see it good enough.
Well,
We
that's
know
not
it's
good.
clowns. I'm going to pass. Completely pass. Always pass. I don't care if
This
it's
guy
an
here?
original bozo.
there's 6 of them listed. Looking just like him for $40 a piece.
What
Oh,
about
man.
sold, though? I can list my toenails in a jar. Don't mean they're going to sell.
We're gonna filter that. It doesn't give you a total. Oh, yeah, it does at the bottom. Sold of these Murano clowns. 760,000 results. Let's try that on the PC. I don't think that's right. If there's 760,000 of them sold, I'm looking for these suckers everywhere.
Yeah, you go ahead. I don't care. But yeah, I don't think that's right. 760,000. There's only 7 listed. Jeez, that's got like a 12 million sell through
As soon as you
ratio.
listen, they sell apparently.
He's hard at work looking at his screen, ladies and gentlemen.
I am.
He's really proud of these clowns.
No, you know what? I didn't know. I just bought them because they were $1, and I'm like, I've seen them before. I didn't know what they were.
Will you buy anything for $1?
Yeah.
If I do, Tommy Boy said to that one guy, "It's crap in a box, but a guarantee on the side of it, you'll pay $1 for it." We've been watching that movie. It's an awesome movie. Now that would be a cool one to have sealed. We can talk about that one another time.
Yeah, I don't know where that 760,000 came from. Listed
Listed.
1,100 of them.
Okay, and sold.
66.
Indigenous art. Indigenous art, 6%. But hey, so it's only going to take you 12 years to sell it, but when you sell it for $40, you've really made some profit off of it.
It's not going to take much room. Again, I didn't look it up. I should have.
Oh, Cardinal sin, ladies and gentlemen. But anything for $1, Ben's is very. Yeah, it's cool. It's only $1. I'll take it.
All right, so those are our 4 things.
6%. I thought we were old there for a minute. I'm going to change my mind about buying clowns. Yeah, so I was right.
I was
Pass.
thinking it was going to. On the app, it said 760,000 sold. I don't know. Maybe you just sell these on the app. You don't sell them on the regular eBay. You just sell them on the app. Because that seems to be where there's a lot of them sold.
This is not any different. It's great, man. You should have saved that one. Well, you should have saved that one for next time, like I said.
No, I'm glad I wasted it because I thought it was going to be something big at the end. Like, woohoo!
Like the grand finale.
So you were a pass. I was a pick. I should have been a pass.
Yeah. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you see clowns out there, you can pick them if you want to. Just remember, they've got a 6% sell-through ratio because everybody hates clowns.
Except for the one weirdo like me.
Nobody likes clowns. Stephen King ruined that for everybody. But now, what actually ruined it for me was going to a Discovery Place clown show. If you don't know where Discovery Place is, look up Charlotte, North Carolina, the Discovery Place. Used to be a pretty neat place to go. I haven't been there in decades. But it was like a science center, and they had a big thing on clowns, and this one clown wouldn't quit messing with me when I was a kid. And I ended up kicking him in the shins with my dingo. I wore dingo cowboy boots every day. Didn't get my first pair of tennis shoes till I was in the 1st grade. But I wore dingo cowboy boots. You can look those up too if you want to.
Baby ate my dingo.
And I kicked him in the shins and had to go sit in timeout. And I didn't think it was fair for me to have to sit in timeout for kicking somebody who wouldn't quit bothering me.
Right now, I'm not real happy with him either.
6% sell-through rate is awesome.
That my first shirt is going to be 6% sell-through rate.
Yeah, just a 6%. You're going to get one of the badges you're going to get a badge made like the motorcycle badge, but instead of saying 1%er, you're going to have 6%er on there.
Yeah. Give it 6%. I'm in. Everybody, thanks again for coming.
Absolutely. Watching. Subscribe, ring the bell.
Ding.
Hit that bell so you get notified when we upload one of these. But we appreciate each and every one of you. We have a good time doing these. Hope you guys have a good time watching them. Hope they're informational for you so that you can some things to look for. One of the things that Ben's and I, the reason we started this is because we got a lot of things like, I'll show you one just because I feel bad for Ben's. But like this right here, this little watch right here, I don't think that's worth anything at all. And I know it's not worth much since I can't get the battery off the back of it to change the battery. But, I mean, you get little things like that because you think they look cool, they sell good, and you find out they're not.
Yeah, we need to get our sell-through rate up. That's the problem I have.
Sell-through rate is everything. That's really where you're going to make your money. Something that doesn't have a good sell-through rate, it's just going to take up space in your inventory.
Yeah, you'll be holding on to it forever. Long tail is where I am, apparently.
Better to make $10 now, $500 10 years from now.
$10, you flip it over and over and over and over.
Yep.
You make more than $500.
That's it.
All right. Thanks again for coming.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.